What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Over here, we're posting daily videos, weekly live streams, and monthly giveaways. Folks, it doesn't get much better than that. I'm going to keep you up to date on a day-to-day basis of what's happening with the price of silver, and most importantly, what you need to do about it. Now, is silver in trouble? I don't think so. I think it's actually quite the opposite. A lot of people are going to portray silver being in trouble because guess what? Silver is a direct threat to the US dollar, and since the dollar is up, everyone's going to be trying to root on everyone, telling us that the economy is getting better, and even if it does, it's still bullish for silver. But anyways, people for some reason don't like silver. They call it, they nickname it the devil's metal, gold's bearish little brother, and call it a whole bunch of different things because it's rebelling against the dollar. It's rebelling against the government. It's rebelling against banks. And even banks are actually calling for $50+ silver by the end of the year, which is crazy because banks usually hate silver. They love gold. But the point is that people are going to try to sweep silver's potential under the rug, but you can't ignore the fact that silver is by far the best, safest, and investment with the most potential and possibility. And there's blatant, obvious information showcasing, proving, literally proving, charts, graphs. I mean, numbers don't lie. And when you have people like the Silver Institute, the holy grail of information, literally showing us supply and demand numbers, production numbers, telling us, even the U.S. Mint themselves telling us there's a silver shortage. You can't argue that. You can't debate that. Nobody can come onto my channel and try to say, oh, well, no, you can't argue the fact that silver is by far the investment that has the most potential and opportunity, even compared to gold. But anyways, I have a couple things to talk about right now. As prices are down, it's just an opportunity to buy silver for cheaper, right? Just buy it low, sell it high. Don't freak out when it's low, buy it high, and then hope it goes higher. No, that's gambling. Investors make strategic decisions, and we are investors over here. So there's an article I found that was posted 2-3 days ago from Ed Steer, which I've never heard of him, but it looks like he has like a podcast, and he's talking about silver price is about to blow sky high. Now, everyone and their mom makes videos talking about this. I try to keep it realistic, right? Some people are talking about $500 silver by the end of the year. You know, I try to keep it realistic around here. I don't want to give you false hope. I don't want to mislead you because then if it doesn't hit that, which most likely it won't, then you have resentments and it might steer you away from silver altogether, which is going to hurt you in the long run. So I try to be realistic. When we're looking at silver's potential, or when people say silver is going to explode or skyrocket, that term is very loosely portrayed because what skyrocket means to you might not mean to me. $50 might be skyrocketing to me, but to you, $50 or skyrocketing means $500, right? So it really does depend on the individual, and it's stereotypically using so much for content. But anyways, we have this article I'm going to go over, and then we also have this other one talking about the FOMC outcome. Federal Chairman Jerome Powell gave some statement a couple of days ago, and it definitely was bearish. It hurt silver prices because the dollar is strengthening, and this article goes over that. But we're also looking at if it's going to continue to strengthen and what that would do in return to precious metals, gold and silver. So we got a lot of good stuff. Make sure you're subscribed. Like I said, every single day I'll keep you in the loop with the most relevant information. So this is a podcast. You can watch the video yourself, but I'm going to highlight what they're talking about. So Tom welcomes Ed Steer to the show. So Ed writes a weekly subscriber column on the gold and silver markets. He brings up a bombshell overview of what is happening in the metals market. So Ed explains how tight the silver markets have become and why the COMEX is attempting to roll over as many contracts as possible to avoid delivery, right? I mean, if everyone tried to turn in those contracts, there isn't enough silver. Those people, they don't actually own that silver. Every one of our ounces of silver we own is 100 times bought over. 100 other people own that same ounce. But since we have it in our possession, it's actually ours. But them, no, it's just a number on a screen. They have reduced the fees to rollover contracts to near zero. There is some backwardation in silver for contracts in late 2021, revealing weakness in their ability to deliver. Thousands of traders use the COMEX markets, but 8 large investment banks control more than half of the paper's metal markets. These big players are short of 412 million ounces of silver, and it's them versus the world. The thousands of other traders are entirely net long as they understand this scheme is ending. If these large players were to let go or let silver go, the price would rapidly become sizable 3-digit numbers. So he's talking about $100+ silver. He feels these investment banks were caught completely flat-footed by the actions in the market in recent weeks. They have been forced to double down on their shorts to keep the market suppressed. Ed says right now these guys are fighting for their lives. I mean, things are getting crazy behind the scenes. There's a lot of stuff we don't talk about. I try to cover everything on this channel, right? I really do. You guys know me. My favorite word is dissect, because that's exactly what I try to do. I try to break down this information, look what's happening behind the scenes, and just expose things for what they are. If things aren't always rainbows and unicorns, I'm not going to portray it that way, right? Physical premiums are through the roof if you can even find the metal. The lead times from the mints are growing, and that's a scary thought. The U.S. Mint literally can't even find enough silver to make their coins, which is crazy because American Eagles are only minted around 13 million this year, where usually it's 30, 40 million. So if they can't even get a third of the silver they usually have, that shows a lot. It speaks for itself. So there's no physical metal to be had, and the market is tight everywhere you look. If the sleeping giants, aka industrial users of silver, awaken to what is happening, they will want to buy everything available, making the situation much worse. Those in power are now desperate, as these problems could lead to a massive currency crisis worldwide. And that is the most important word is worldwide, because we know the USD is the world's reserve currency. Every country across the world relies on the dollar's strength. They rely on it, and it's their opinion. And if they start to see or start to think the dollar is losing strength, then it literally is. The dollar is only as strong as people think it is. And if people start to think it's not valuable, they'll opt out, which we've already seen several countries opting out. Some countries going to simply a Bitcoin standard where they use cryptocurrency now, right? It's a dangerous thing for many different reasons. I mean, think about how I can't see the situation we're in exposed how broke the United States really is. I mean, you can look at usdebtclock.org all you want and look at the numbers, but the situation that's happened since last year really exposed a lot. And we're like a dog backed in a corner. What were we gonna do? Tell people that they can't get a stimulus check? Say, oh, we don't have that money to give out. I'm sorry, while people are, starving and jobless. No, we have to give the money out. Even if we don't have it, we have to. If candidate A, B, or C wanted to win the election, they better throw out that $1 trillion stimulus word or they're not getting elected, right? And now, since Biden won, excessive overspending, throwing even more trillions of dollars out, and it has to come to an end. It's like trying to pay off a credit card with another credit card, right? It's gonna bite you in the butt. So Ed cautions that, or first he says he doesn't believe these banks can cover their shorts, and March deliveries will be very interesting, right? When people have these contracts, if they tried to turn them in, there would not be enough silver, right? Especially when we see the SLV up like hundreds of percent since, previous years. So Ed cautions things are now in motion that can't be undone. It's going to be like the long-term capital management collapse. We're talking trillions, not billions. Hopefully, there's a world left to survive once this is all over. And yes, when the financial crisis, right, the credit crisis happened 2008, that was billions of dollars in stimulus, like he said. Now we're talking trillions of dollars. I don't even think the human brain can fathom how much bigger a trillion is than a billion. I don't think the human brain can comprehend how much bigger the number, or how much bigger $1 trillion is than a billion, and we're throwing out plural trillions of dollars. I don't think people understand how much more money that is. Also, how weaker the dollar is, and we're already $29 trillion in debt. when the dollar's lost 98% of its purchasing power, 44% in the last 20 years. And no, I don't make these numbers up. No, you can fact check me all you want. I have I don't know why, but I'm very good at numbers when I'm remembering information. Plus, I cover these articles on a daily basis. So over the last 6 years, skimming through 20, 30 articles a day, I have a lot of information in my head. But anyways, it is interesting, and I'm glad that this came out. If you guys want to watch the actual video, you can. It's probably a lot better. I'm going to see how long it is actually. So it's 30 minutes long. And I like how they have these little time stabs. So he goes over COMEX price spreads, backwardation, size of shorts position, caught off guard, spot versus physical price. Then he goes to don't waken the giants at 12 minutes and 58 seconds. He talked about confidence in currencies, forcing the issue, JP Morgan's holdings. He goes over the cause of the March crash, huge silver ETF demand. Then he goes over, right here, it looks like sourcing the silver, physical deliveries, yada, yada, yada. Trillions too big to fail. So, yeah, I like how he also does have those timestamps. So, if you want to skip to a specific topic he's talking about, you can. But, yeah, so let's go over to this second article. So, U.S. dollar bid on FOMC outcome, where from here? So the US dollar may continue higher. However, given the RSI readings and support and resistance levels, it may be time for a short-term correction. So on the back of the FOMC outcome from yesterday, in which Fed members showed the median forecast 2 interest rate hikes by the end of 2023, up from 0, the U.S. dollar has moved aggressively higher. The dollar index was near 50% retracement level, descending wedge just above 90.5 pre-FOMC. However, afterwards, the U.S. dollar index shot up wedge target at 91.48. And it's continuing to go higher. But where does it go from here? I mean, look at this chart. Silver is going to be higher when the dollar index is lower. When the dollar index is higher, silver is going to be lower. The dollar index is directly correlated to gold and silver prices. This is going over the 240-minute frame. I don't like to ramble. I only want to tell you, I like talking about stuff you guys need to know. So you guys can read all this if you want. But right down here, they summarize and they say, look at many other USD pairs, and there will be similar price action to those above. The US dollar may continue higher. However, given the RSI readings and support and resistance levels mentioned, it may be time for a short-term correction, which would allow better entries into USD pairs. So if there is going to be a correction in the dollar, obviously that would be a nice point for gold and silver to start picking up. People will probably start getting hope in it again. But like I said, when the dollar's low, when silver's low, take advantage of that. You shouldn't need validation for it to go higher for you to be happy. If you're not planning on selling right now, then there's no reason why you'd want the price to be higher right now. Why? You're happy that you have to pay more money for your silver? If you're not selling for 10, 15 years, then why in the world would you want the price of silver to be high in the next, you would want the price to be low until then so you can get more silver. And then it rises in 10, 15 years. It just makes sense. You can get more silver. You'll make more profits. You'll be more successful. But some people need that proof. They need to be validated that the price can go that high. We already know it can, and it will, and it has before. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you thought this video was 1, educational, 2, informational, 3, at least entertaining, make sure to smash the like button. I post daily videos every single day, giving you guys the newest, latest information. I also do weekly live streams. I think I'll do like a Friday night live stream every week or something. Hang out. I do giveaways during the live streams. I pick a number 1 through 50. Whoever guesses the number wins some silver. I actually did 2 winners last time. Threw out like 3 or 4 ounces of silver. It was a fun time. I actually played my arcade machine. I have this actual arcade machine, from an arcade. I was playing Street Fighter and all that types of stuff, showing some silver up, doing giveaways. It's a great time. You could ask me questions on there, just kick it, hang out with other stackers. It's cool. Doing stuff like that is cool. I went to my local coin shop last week. You guys can hear the conversation or the interview basically I did with him. Showed a lot of insight from a coin shop's perspective on what's happening right now in the shortage. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of interesting, diverse types of content. You guys can scroll through my videos, and I promise you will not be disappointed. A lot of stuff's been going on, and I'm covering it all here on this channel. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.